Boy, good evening, SBC and SBCC and whomever else is watching this. So you know who I am and what I do and everything else. Well, there's a viral video coming out, and this couldn't wait till this weekend or next Tuesday. No, this had to come out now. Here's the scoop. I was going to cut to the chase. It's a nearly 5-minute video. We're going to watch it together. It's concerning this. If you can read the description in the video, a fella bought food for his child, for only his child that he has with the mother of his child. But she has 3 or 4 other children, and he didn't buy any food for the other children. So, with that explained, we'll just play the movie, go straight to it, and folks, let us know what you think. Here we go.
Look, y'all. Every fucking day my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids at McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got 1 thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just 1 burger? 1 burger, 1 fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
Okay, but them your kids' siblings though.
What are you talking about? What are you mad
Them
about?
my kids, them your kids' siblings though.
So what you?
So my other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the 7.
Listen, is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Listen,
them are his siblings though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating at McDonald's. No, why do I gotta put?
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him eat.
No. He's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Lisa, so you're telling me that I gotta bring? So when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You have them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
So
you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me. Because I'm exposing. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this bullshit. You only come here with one piece of food for one child.
The child that's mine, silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had one or two, I can maybe. You got it's 3 extra kids. What the? You all like going to my motherfucking account, spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb.
So that's what you gonna go with. That's the one you gonna.
Those are your fucking kids' siblings.
So that means
yeah.
I take care of them.
So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do you mean?
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th.
Your babies.
Okay, but I'm saying we share the same kids as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel the way about eating, take him in the room and let him.
I'm not taking my kid in the room.
Him down to the car. He ain't even got to eat in front of his brothers and sisters. He can come right out to the car and eat with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here.
Bro.
Give it here.
Give
it here. Dumb. He ain't eating this. You.
Why would you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish as a like you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He not finna eat that shit. Dumb.
Take care of him anyway.
Dumb. He not finna do that. If you can't do it for all, don't do it for none of them. Bye, stupid. Thought I was finna take that shit today.
The homie Don Killer Boo got the album out.
Don Killer Boo. You feel me?
Whew. That's all I can say is whew. Well, folks, let me get these comments up here. We're not going to be on here too long, so here we go. When Jeanette Sullivan says, when did she get her, does she get her food stamps? The 7th or the 11th? I didn't quite catch it, though. But, this going to be, you can rewatch it later on, though. Lorraine Robinson, my people need to do better. She should be ashamed. She thought she was exposing him. She just exposed herself. I agree. Sherry from Houston, how does she know if he can afford to buy for all the kids? If he can, it would be nice, but dang, lady. And you know something else about that? Who's to say that that's his only child? He may have 3 or 4 more crumb snatchers out there. So, hey, he already got to pay for them. So, I don't know. April Shaw says, why is that his responsibility? Good question. Marcus, does she has other kids with him? Yes. That's the whole point of the video. She has, 3 or 4 more kids by other men. So out of those children, only one of the children is his. So he's the father of. Yes, face palm. Yolanda. Well, how long was the argument? Too long. It was too long. I agree with you. Share. Oh my goodness, it would be a time for me if I were a man to fight for custody. Whew. Teresa Jones says, oh yeah. So, and I just asked this though, was he obligated? Was he obligated to pay to buy food for not only his brood, for his child, but for the other children as well? Is that his responsibility? Jenna says, I don't think it's a responsibility, and they aren't together. And even April says, and even if he could afford to feed all those kids, he don't have to pay for what is not his. And Lorraine says, no, he was not. Whew. This is something right here, y'all. This is something. Now, and you know how things are viral, though. So whether or not this was legit, I don't know. Maybe it was, though. But hey, let me see. Barbara Ann says, so sad, feel sorry for the ghetto baby mama. The dad handled it very well and glad he didn't slap her when she threw the food on the ground. Not his responsibility. Hmm. 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 Jeanette Sullivan says it's not his responsibility to feed all of her kids, but he doesn't make it better when he's buying it for one in front of everyone. Maybe he should just take his kid out for a daddy Sunday. Mm. Well, and maybe, and I'm not being flippant or anything, but how else can he pay for something without being in front of his siblings, the child's sibling? I mean, if he buy something in private, the kids will still know. If he picks up his child for a daddy Sunday, and the child come back with trinkets and knickknacks from McDonald's and wherever else they went, well, guess what? The other kids still gonna feel bad because their fathers didn't come around and do the same thing. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, though. Oh, y'all coming in. Um, Dad handled that well. Okay, we read that. Marcus, wow, she done a disservice to herself by being an embarrassment for her kids. She was clearly in the wrong. Teresa says it's not his responsibility, but if he can, it would be nice. Kids don't understand. That is so true. Why no one has something and all can't have, and you can imagine how bad a feeling that was. Oh, my good friend Tracy Singletary, it's the human thing to do. I could believe that right there. Sherry said the problem with that Jeanette is with her attitude. She probably don't want him to go with his dad, and you're right, Sherry, and that's part of the problem most often than not. So, Dr. Yolanda, Jeanette, she might have a problem with that, and she may want him to take the others as well. And there it goes. Therein lies another problem. And like I stated earlier, he may have other kids that he got to take care of. And he wants to do for his own child. He can't take care of the other, you know, his son's siblings. He just can't do it. Uh oh yeah, entitlement. Yes. So I don't know. Some people say they would. I've read online, especially on my timeline, that some say, yeah, he wasn't responsible. He shouldn't have had to do it. But then there were others that said, well, hey, if I buy something for one, I buy for all. So it all depends on the situation. That I don't know. I don't know how I would handle the situation if I were to allow myself in that situation in the first place, though. But Sherry says, and then just one day, his sons need to eat anyway, every day. Just like that. Well, and again, I just wanted to break this to y'all. I consider this a little breaking news if it was to say, wait, Shalice, glad to have you here. If I had the money, I wouldn't have an issue, but it's a choice I make. His money may be tight and have other responsibilities. Lorraine says it's easy to say that you would do when it's not you. And you know what, Lorraine? Very, and I agree with you 100% right there. We can sit here and say, well, if I was going to buy for other kids, hey, I buy for my one, I buy for everyone. But, hey, I say this all the time. We dealing with inflation. Under normal circumstances, it would be tough to pay for everyone. But now you're talking about how things are, inflation and everything. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Uh, Reginald says, where are the fathers doing for their kids that she has kids with? Good question. Video doesn't say yay or nay, whatever. Maybe they're doing something for them. Maybe they're not. We don't know. But it's an interesting question. April says, but she came at him like he needed to take care of all her kids. That's not right. April, that happens more often than not, right there. Goodness, and definitely it's just not misogyny. that I'm doing right now. But you have multiple kids, and you had that one guy that seemed like he can take care of all of them, and she tried to put all that pressure on him, and that's not fair. That's not fair. Reginald said he or they need to do their part. Sherry said he might actually buy for the others if she wasn't so ungrateful. Maybe, just maybe. April, is she clowning the other fathers? I was thinking that I was going to ask that question. Is she doing the same thing? But if she is, then maybe she's a bit trifling, I guess. Margaret from Philadelphia. If she had a better attitude, maybe he would be willing to treat all those kids. It starts with her at least show some gratitude that he's showing for his own kids. Okay. Jenna, what was she going to feed them if he never showed up? Good point. Good point. Great point right there. Marcus, if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's a very sour mom whose hormones cloud her better judgment in that clip. I apologize for saying that, but that's my 100% honest opinion. Okay, Marcus, you may have to call the Alabama State Patrol to protect you tonight. Hey, Sister Pickney, you have to look at it from the children point of view. It looks like favoritism in their eyes. And you know what? That's absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But it's a no-win situation. It's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. You know, he really isn't obligated to pay, by bring gross Mickey D's to the other kids. He's not obligated to do that. But at the same token, those kids feel bad. I understand that. But Lorraine, he even said if it was just 1 or 2 he would buy. But 4 kids isn't cheap. Nowadays, 2 kids isn't cheap, to be honest with you. Jennifer says, glad to have you here, Jennifer. Maybe she might be the reason the other fathers aren't present. Good point. Good point right there. Sherry's question is, does she know? Oh, man. Does she know who the other fathers are? I can't answer that. Maybe not, Sherry. Interesting question, though. Reginald says, at least he is being a present dad, not an absentee father. He's taking care of his responsibility. And you know what? His ought to be capitalized and bolded. His responsibility. I feel bad for the other babies out there. I feel real bad for them. But those other ones aren't his responsibility. As sad as and pitiful as that sound. Jetta says, shoot, at the very least, I would have the meal. We are not throwing away a perfect. You know what? And that was stupid right there. Providing all of this is legit now. That's a little disclaimer I'm going to make right there. The caveat right there. Providing all of this is legit. That was crazy right there. That was crazy right there. Don't throw away food and people hungry and starving and what have you. Angela Morgan. Yes, he is not obligated to buy for the other kids, but he needed to buy for all. Because the kids would see it differently. Bad situation all the way around. Do y'all agree with that? He needed to buy for all. Well, I'll ask this question to you and others. Well, what about the other kids' fathers? Would they be willing to do the same thing? And again, and I hate to say this, not picking at you, Angela, or anyone else, but it's easy for us to look at this with a sympathetic heart or what have you, though, to say, hey, if I buy one for one, I buy for all, though. It's easy for us to say that until we get into that situation. Then I'm afraid that most of us would change our tune. With attitude like that, she probably don't know shit. I don't know. Maybe not. It's not my place to ask that right there. But the sad thing is the kids have to watch this bad behavior, I'm sure. Yeah. And you know what? The biggest loser in all this are the children. not only his child, but the other kids as well. Mm. Jill Tolliver, glad to have you here, Jill. She's definitely wrong in the attitude. She's going to learn you get more with honey. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Stephanie Borden, glad to have you here tonight. She should have just allowed his child to go with him. That's her responsibility to explain to the kids. Absolutely. And hopefully they're old enough to kind of understand what's going on. They're probably not mature enough to, I guess, to lessen the hurt, so to say. But hey, it's sad. Reginald says maybe he could have picked up his kid, took him and her to Mickey D's and brought them back. No, because his son could have come down and had his meal without the other kids ever seeing it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Phew. It's bad all the way, y'all. It's bad all the way. It's sad. It's a sad situation. You never know. Again, it's easy for us to say what we'll do, we won't, and we won't do. Wait a minute. Angela, she needs to allow the child to go with their dad. Makes you wonder what the other dads are doing. Yes, and that seems to be the $64,000 question tonight. What are the other dads are doing? So that is it, though. Not gonna hold you up. I just had to get this breaking news to y'all. We'll probably discuss this in the group chat, or we may have an audio chat tonight, and we'll talk about this some more. So thank you for being here, and we may see each other again. If not, we'll see each other on Saturday, though. So until then, thank you and take care, y'all.